A Widowhood Guide. Chapter 1. A Widowhood Guide. Widowhood Info. Loons mate for a lifetime, but what happens when one dies? I am a widow clad in black, alone. With saddened face and very simply dressed. In great distress and manner most aggrieved. I wear the mourning that is killing me. Christine de Pizan, A Widow's Grief, 1363 to 1429. Nobody can fill the spot he left behind. You gotta go on, but it's not easy. The widower. For a season there must be pain. For a little space. I shall lose the sight of her face. Take back the old life again. While she is at rest in her place. For a season this pain must endure. For a little while. I shall sigh more often than smile. Till time shall work me a cure. And the pitiful days beguile. For that season we must be apart. For a little length of years. Till my life's last hour nears. And, above the beat of my heart, I hear her voice in my ears. But I shall not understand. Being set on some later love. Shall not know her for whom I strove. Till she reach me forth her hand. Saying, who but I have the right. And out of a troubled night. Shall draw me safe to the land. Rudyard Kipling, 1865 to 1936. The word widow comes from the Sanskrit meaning empty. Society shuns away from death. After the death of your spouse, expect people to shy away from you. They just don't feel comfortable around you. They don't know what to say. People don't want to talk about grief. Accept it, expect to face it alone. We're taught to suppress emotion about death, put it out of our minds, but we have to resolve it within ourselves. It might help to write a letter or talk to your deceased spouse to get it off your chest. Join a support group if you have to. The best way to deal with it is to be a good person while you're alive and talk things out then. Be kind to your spouse while alive so you won't have to feel guilty after death. If one of you is ill and going to die, make the most of your remaining time together. Another thing is your identity as a person. If you've been married a long time and your spouse dies, you feel like a ship lost at sea. You must develop a sense of individual identity and prepare for the day when your spouse dies. You must adapt to the situation. Play it cool. Don't panic. The general consensus is that it takes anywhere from 6 months to 5 years to get over the death of a loved one. Grief is like the seasons, it starts in the winter, gets cold for a while, but then spring comes around and then summer. The best piece of advice I can give is to find somebody else and don't be guilty about it. Maybe you'll marry again. I see it as your former spouse wants you to be happy, so they want you to find someone and find love again. It doesn't mean you're dishonoring her, it means you're human. As for money matters, don't listen to anyone but yourself. Go to the number 332 section of your local library or get my money book and educate yourself about money. Don't spend much until you know what's going on. Widow websites. Books about widowhood are at hashtag 155.937 and hashtag 301.428, hashtag 306.88 or HQ 1058 at the library. Legal books are at number 343. ABCsofWidowhood.com. Asanet.org. Fortnet.org/widownet. gofso.com/premium/le_low/fg/death_spouse.html, financial guide, death of a spouse. griefhealing.com/deathspousepartner.htm. healdhandage.com. hope.edu/academic/psychology/335/webrep2/widowhood.htm. lorianweiss.com/0share_your_stories.html. liftedhearts.net. magellanassist.com/mem/library/default.asp, survival tips for widowhood. metrounds.org/encyclopedia-hyphen of-aging/2006/01/death-spouses.html. Mental health. Dead website, try.dash.com, tripsavvy.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com, go to Widowhood. Relationshipdirectory.com. themodernword.com/reviews/auster_oracle.html, love story. Widownet.org. American Association of Retired Persons. AARP Fulfillment. 601 E St. N.W. Washington, D.C. 20049. 202-872-4700. 202-728-4370. AARP.org. Free pamphlet, Widowed Persons. National Association of Widowed People. POB 3665. Springfield, Illinois 62708. 217-522-1700. Society of Military Widows. 5535 Hempstead Way. Springfield, Virginia 22151. 703-750-1342. Theos. They help each other spiritually. 717 Liberty Avenue. 1301 Clark Building. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania 15301. 412-471-7779. National Widows Organization with practical information like how to deal with the estate. Widow to Widow. Laboratory of Community Psychiatry. Harvard Medical School. Cambridge, Massachusetts 02138. Widow websites at dmoz-odp.org/society/people/widows_and_widowers. aestheticrealism.org/widowhood_af.htm, how should a widow cope with the loss of her spouse, and Fielding describes the principles she learned from Eli Siegel, the great American poet who founded the education of aesthetic realism. CreativeGrieving.com, Creative Grieving. Elizabeth Berrien is a certified creative grief coach and founder of Soul Widows, a support group for young widows. ForWidowsOnly.com, for widows only, about the book and author. Groups.yahoo.com/group/youngwidows2, Young Widows 2, a sister/brother list to young widows, which is a very active support group for women. Groups.yahoo.com/group/youngwidows, Young Widows, discussion group of young women who have lost their husbands. Groups.yahoo.com/group/widowed, widowed, forum/message board for those who have lost a spouse. marywidow.me.uk, Mary Widow, Kate Boydell's online resource for anyone who has lost a partner. modernwidowsclub.com, Modern Widows Club, US-based. nawi.ie, National Association of Widows in Ireland, provides support and help to make new friends, find a new beginning and a life full of social activities. newhope-grief.org, New Hope, encouragement for those who have lost a spouse. rafbf.org/raf-widows, RAF Widows Association, a national charity for men and women who have lost their spouse or partner whilst serving in the RAF at the time of their death or who died within 2 years of leaving the RAF. sarahstent.com/mission/Widows Welfare Association.htm, Widows Welfare Association of India, a website for the welfare of widows in India. saringspirits.org, Saring Spirits International, community for widowed men and women with understanding, friendship, inspiration, and encouragement. warwidows.org.uk, War Widows Association of Great Britain, the WWA exists to improve the conditions of war widows and their dependents in Great Britain. Wida.org, Wida, an active bulletin board for young widowed people, both men and women, across the world. Widow-speak.org, Widow Speak, an online resource for widows. Widow.ie, Widow.ie, Irish online support for widows and widowers, young and older. Widowed.ca, Widowed.ca, an online resource for widows and widowers in Canada, providing information and services needed following the loss of a loved one. widowedandyoung.org.uk, Way Widowed and Young, a national charity in the UK for men and women aged 50 or under when their partner died. widowedvillage.org, Widowed Village, soaring spirits, connects peers with each other for friendship and sharing. Widownet.org, Widownet, an information and support resource for and by widows and widowers. Topics covered include grief, bereavement, recovery, and other information helpful to those who have suffered the death of a spouse. Widowsrights.org, Widows' Rights International, information and resources aimed at helping widows in developing countries, including news, legal archives, literature, and events listings. Widow-widower dating websites. You don't have to be over 50 to be a widow, but most widows are. Widowedzingly.org. findingloveafter50.com/widower_dating_thirtage.html. groups.yahoo.com/group/widow_widower_dating. widow.info. widowserwidowers.com. catholicpeople.com/catholic-widow.htm. datingforseniors.com. widow.com. Chapter 2. A grief/bereavement guide. Deal with grief. A part of getting over it is to know you never will. To everything there is a season. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. To heal is to become whole. To become whole is to grieve. To grieve is to let go. To let go is to be free. From TV show Women of Wisdom. Grief has its own schedule. Until you honor it enough to let go, you'll be traveling at half-mast with your anchor down. Death is the most significant taboo in our society. People don't want to deal with it before it happens or even when it happens. No matter how much you expect it, even with the loss of an older person, it still leaves you empty and numb for a while. A good song in pop culture relating to death and grief is The Living Years by Michael Rutherford, where he says something like he wishes he could have told his father all those things he felt, like how he loved him and wished he had been there when he had his first baby. The operative word in dealing with somebody dying is victim. Don't let them nor you become a victim. Let them die with dignity, then after it's over, don't fall to pieces and get helpless. Sure, sit around for a while, mope, have your little cry, but think, what would the decedent have wanted you to do? Get depressed, or go on and honor his or her memory by becoming the best person you can be. You can't avoid suffering, feeling down and grieving for a while, but it shouldn't affect who you are and what you do to stay inspired about your life day by day. There are many different ways to grieve. Survivors may experience intense emotions and intrusive thoughts, or they may not. Some people find their identity fundamentally changed, no longer the parent, spouse, or loved person they once were. Some people sometimes underestimate the gravity of their loss until months or years later. They seem to be doing well only to find themselves feeling sad at times like anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays. Deal with it the best way you can. A high percentage of elderly people die within a year of their spouse. Bereaved people should evaluate themselves for depression for a while following a loved one's death and get some help if need be. Try to resist the temptation to make abrupt decisions like quit your job, sell the house, move in with family, etc. Wait. Let yourself feel the full range of emotions that come with profound loss before you do anything rash. While privacy is also important to healing, don't alienate yourself from the world. Stay active and inspired about life as the decedent would have surely wanted you to do. Talk to a pastor or counselor or a friend about how you feel. Join a support group to learn from those who have been down the road before you. The negative thoughts may always be there, but I've chosen not to look at death as a loss, just a part of the life cycle, death of the body but not the soul. I've chosen to believe that the soul is somewhere else. Where, I don't know, heaven or the other side somewhere. I'll unite with my friends and relatives when I get there. Other than that, I don't think about death much because life is meant for the living. Have your little pity party but move on to try to be a good person. That's how you honor someone's memory. Depression and sitting around moping are not feasible solutions. Your departed one doesn't want this for you. They want you happy, healthy, and productive, feeling normal and living a normal life as opposed to sulking in depression. There are generally 5 stages to the grieving process. 1. The first stage is denial. In order to get back to work and running your home, you push the event out of your mind and go on like nothing happened. 2. Anger soon follows as the second stage of grief. Then you bargain, looking for something to help you move on. Depression is a combination of guilt, doubt, anger, hopelessness, and fear. You accept it and move on. Don't wait until death to bring out all your unresolved feelings or to regret things you didn't get a chance to say or do with your loved ones. Take the time now to spend some time alone with them to tell them in your own way that you love them and want to thank them for what they did for you. It'll go that much easier on you when the inevitable happens. If you know someone who is grieving, don't give them unsolicited advice nor bother them too much. Just be with them if they want a friend around. Let them talk. Don't say much. Cherish your loved ones now. Tell them what you have to now, resolve your conflicts now because someday it may be too late. Death comes suddenly not only to older folks but to anybody at any age. Take a walk through a graveyard like I did and you'll see that people die at all ages from all manner of affliction, particularly sudden ones like car accidents, drownings, fires, shootings. Anything can happen at any time, so be on good terms with your loved ones now. The way I dealt with my grief over the loss of loved ones was to resolve within myself that I would honor their memories by becoming the best human being I was born to be. Death makes you realize the transience of life. It's not everlasting, everybody will die at some point in time. Whether you believe in God or not, you must accept this fact and make resolutions to do something meaningful with your life beyond just being a passive consumer. It's the only thing that can really give your life meaning and give you sense out of a loved one's death. At least that's how I dealt with it. I got more serious about my life, resolved to be a better human being and do something good for the world. The first rule of grief is that it's not the end of the world. You must accept the death as part of the life process. I go back to the honor thing because that's what worked for me. You must realize that the person would have wanted you to honor him by doing your best to be a better person, not to mope around and get depressed. It sounds kind of harsh, but you gotta have your cry, acknowledge the loss in your mind, have a short period of numbness, then get on with it, time to get happy again. Your happiness is up to you. Your dead loved ones don't want you to be depressed. Don't fall into the trap that many people do, which is to live in the past. They get sentimental with the memories and regress to those times, becoming hermits in the process. You must live in the present. Surround yourself with positive things like flowers, pets, good music, fresh air, bright colors, nice clothes, healthy food, inspirational books, funny things, new interests, creative things, sunlight, church, friends, etc. It's alright to slow down for a while, take it easy, go to friends for comfort, touch and hug people and pets, pamper yourself, do something for self-improvement's sake, find other grieving hearts and seek the advice of trusted friends. Some people choose to get busy and get on with work, which is alright, but you gotta resolve the grief within yourself too. The stages of grief according to Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross are shock and denial, anger, bargaining, depression and finally acceptance, albeit in many cases, just a limited acceptance. If you feel really bad, you may want to join a support group to be with other people. When it happens to a close person, it's best not to deny it but give yourself allowances for grieving and talk it out with other people that were close to the decedent. Grief is normal. You might feel guilty about things that you could have done with this person but didn't over his or her lifetime. Obviously, guilt is bad. Just give yourself time to grieve and get on with life. Some people can never quite get over the loss of a loved one, but you can get rid of most of the empty feeling except for occasional fleeting thoughts during the day. The healing process is a natural thing. Time and patience heals most things. Some days may be better than others. You'll be up and down for a while. I see it all as a process of the rebirthing cycle, kind of like the seasons. Winter is death, then spring brings new life, meaning you must find new people/new things to do to get over the death of the loved one. In the case of a lost spouse, even for older folk, I feel that one should consider finding another love to wipe away the memory of the lost one. There's nothing dishonorable about this. Your old love would have wanted you to be happy. You can't make it feel better by becoming a hermit or a martyr. Many older widows and widowers who were with their spouses for a long time simply give up and die within a short time after the death of the first. In some cases, if the love was strong, I can understand this. The general consensus is that it takes anywhere from 6 months to 5 years to get over the death of a loved one. If you're a friend, consider sending flowers as a condolence when a friend dies. Go visit the bereaved. You don't have to say much, just be there to lend moral support and be an outlet if the close person wants to talk. If you have young children, first off, give them more credit for understanding life than you might think. They know about death from TV, they're also more sensitive than you might think. Be gentle with them. Take them aside and explain it to them in a mature, fatherly/motherly way. Let them cry and hug you if they want. Tell them about the life cycle thing and the heaven thing if you're religious. Tell them people get old and die, it's part of life. Tell them grandpa was old, it was his time to die and go to heaven. Take them to the funeral and let them be part of the process. If you don't, they'll feel like they didn't get to say goodbye. You must give them this opportunity. You might consider letting the child buy the flowers for the decedent or write a letter or draw a picture and put it into the casket. Educate them about death. Some biblical passages dealing with grief are Ecclesiastes 3:1-11, Ecclesiastes 38:17, Genesis 9:13-18, Hosea 6:1-3, Isaiah 25:6-8, Isaiah 49:15-16, Isaiah 61:1-3, Jeremiah 1:4-9, Jeremiah 31:13, Job 6:1-13, Job 7:3-16, Luke 6:21, Matthew 5:1-12, Proverbs 3:4, Proverbs 7:3, Wisdom 4:7-14. Grief one-liners. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Khalil Gibran. Grief can be a burden but also an anchor. You get used to the weight, how it holds you in place. The most painful goodbyes are the ones that are left unsaid and never explained. If you're going through hell, keep going. I love you every day. Now I will miss you every day. We belong to the largest company in all the world, the company of those who have known suffering. Helen Keller. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I'd walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. It takes a minute to find a special person, an hour to appreciate them and a day to love them, but it takes an entire lifetime to forget them. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. If the people we love are stolen from us, the way to have them live on is to never stop loving them. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form. Rumi. Perhaps they are not the stars but rather openings in heaven where the love of our lost ones pours through and shines down upon us to let us know they are happy. Separation. Your absence has gone through me. Like thread through a needle. Everything I do is stitched with its color. W.S. Merwin. Every one of us is losing something precious to us. Lost opportunities, lost possibilities, feelings we can never get back again. That's part of what it means to be alive. Haruki Murakami. Every morning, I wake up and forget just for a second that it happened. But once my eyes open, it buries me like a landslide of sharp, sad rocks. Once my eyes open, I'm heavy, like there's too much gravity on my heart. Sarah Eckler. You will lose someone you can't live without and your heart will be badly broken, and the bad news is that you never completely get over the loss of your beloved. But this is also the good news. They live forever in your broken heart that doesn't seal back up. And you come through. It's like having a broken leg that never heals perfectly, that still hurts when the weather gets cold, but you learn to dance with the limp. And Lamont. Every evening I turn my worries over to God. He's going to be up all night anyway. Mary C. Crowley. She was no longer wrestling with the grief but could sit down with it as a lasting companion and make it a sharer in her thoughts. George Eliot. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. Kenji Miyazawa. Memory is a way of holding on to the things you love, the things you are, the things you never want to lose. From the television show, The Wonder Years. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. We acquire the strength we have overcome. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Time is a physician that heals every grief. Diphilus. No one ever really dies as long as they took the time to leave us with fond memories. Chris Sorensen. The deep pain that is felt at the death of every friendly soul arises from the feeling that there is in every individual something which is inexpressible, peculiar to him alone, and is, therefore, absolutely and irretrievably lost. Arthur Schopenhauer. There's a bit of magic in everything and some loss to even things out. Lou Reed. For many, there is comfort in knowing that others, now and throughout human history, have grieved the loss of someone dear to them. While grieving can be a hard and long journey, it brings greater emotional resiliency and helps us learn to open our hearts again to new loving relationships with both people and animals. Chapter 3. A Grief Website Guide 1. Grief Websites 1. 4therapy.com. aarp.org/grief-and-loss, 800-424-3410. athealth.com/consumer/disorders/parental-grief.html. bereavement.org. bereavementsupport.co.uk. beyondindigo.com. Beyond Indigo Grief Support provides information on caregiving, loss, grieving and end-of-life issues for family, friends, pets and loved ones. campjohnmark.org, Grief Recovery Program. centerforloss.com. centering.org, products. chionline.org, 800-24 Children's Hospice. choices.org, Choices in Dying. comfort-for-bereavement.com. comfortzonecamp.org, 866-488-5679, free camp in Rockville, VA to help grieving kids. comfortzonecamp.org/grief-resources/ask-a-counselor. compassionatefriends.org, 877-969-0010. compassionatefriends.org/home.aspx. complicatedgrief.org. coping.org, Coping with Life Stressors. Free online self-help books, adult books focused on recovery and parent books focused on parenting. coping-with-loss-and-grief.com. counselor.com.au/grief-counselor.html, live chat. death-dying.com. deathwithdignity.org. dgsys.com/t golden/onegrief.html. dougie.org. The Dougie Center provides support in a safe place where children, teens, young adults, and their families grieving a death can share their experiences. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/death, _and_loss_in_western_culture, book. facebook.com/group/149122968466058. facebook.com/group/150273021690175. A closed group is for parents that have experienced loss due to twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome. Facebook.com/group/2836672183204116, Suicide Grief. Facebook.com/group/52399202437037, Christian. Facebook.com/group/98668838382, Suicide Grief Group. Facebook.com/group/Grey Grief Group. Funeral.net/info/brvrest.html. GenesisResources.com. Genesis.org, Genesis Regional Medical Center, Annual Grief Recovery Camp. GiftFromWithin.org. Grief.net. GriefCareProvider.com. GriefCast.com. GriefGirlfriend.com. GriefHaven.org. GriefHealing.com. GriefHealingDiscussionGroups.com. GriefNet.org. Grief-recovery.com. GriefRelief.org. GriefWatch.net. GriefWords.com. GriefWorkSBC.com. GrievingChildren.org. Groups.yahoo.com/neo/search?query=grief. GrowthHouse.org, books. GrowthHouse.org, Guide to Death, Dying, Grief, Bereavement. GrowW.com. GrowW.com, Grief Recovery Online. hcd2.bupa.co.uk/fact_sheet/mosby_fact-sheet/bereavement.html. healgrief.com. hildisccarlat.blog.com/3170761, see a licensed therapist or grief counselor. hopehedelman.com. hospicefoundation.org/grief and loss. hospicefoundation.org/grief-support.aspx. hospicesj.com/healingheart.html, healing a broken heart after the death of a loved one. isabellacatalog.com. journey-through-grief.com. catsden.com/death/index.html. keepsafefoundation.com. livingourlosses.com. mcdes.org/board.html, Minnesota Coalition for Death Education and Support. mentalhelp.net/guide/grief. mercycare.org/services/hospice/support.aspx, grief support groups. missingpieces.org, grief after abortion. nasi.org, hospice and home care. nasbonline.org/resources/crisis_safety/griefwar.pdf, National Association of School Psychologists, Loss and Grief Resources. nationaltwinloss.org.au. ncpamd.com/bereavement.htm. neverlettinggo.com, psychic grief. nho.org, hospice. nhpco.org, National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization. noah-health.org/n/mental/disorders/grieving. obituaries-help.org/words_of_condolences_hub.html. opn.com/willowgreen. otrib.com. pomc.com, 888-818 POMC, Parents of Murdered Children. psychcentral.com/libs/coping-with-the-loss-of-a-spouse. psychcentral.com/libs/tips-for-better-managing-your-stress. psychcentral.com/library/child_death.htm. rainbows.org. rivendell.org. sadsuk.org, bereavement support to those who have lost a teenager or adult unexpectedly through sudden adult death syndrome. selfhealingexpressions.com. suicide.com/suicide-center/grief.html. survivorsnet.org, World Trade Center Survivors Network. sympathymessageideas.com. taps.org, Tragedy Assistance Program for survivors. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines die in service to our country. targetwoman.com/article/family-counselor.html tcf.org.uk, The Compassionate Friends, UK. tcf-verdugo.org, Verdugo Hills, CA chapter of Compassionate Friends. The-bright-side.org. touchstonecenter.org, Center for Grieving Children. treesforachange.com/pages/sympathy-message-condolence-quotes-sympathy-card-ideas. ub-counseling.buffalo.edu/relationships/ending/coping.html, Coping with Death and Grief. users.arils.com/lgold/info.htm, Children and Grief. webhealing.com, Crisis, Grief, and Healing. widownet.org. wordsonloss.ning.com. alt.support.grief. Grief websites too. aarp.org/home-family/caregiving/grief-and-loss, AARP, Grief and Loss. activelymovingforward.org, Actively Moving Forward. 8c.org/8c/default.aspx, Association for Death Education and Counseling. childbereavement.org, Children's Bereavement Center. childrengrieve.org, National Alliance for Grieving Children. counselingslewis.net, The Sibling Connection. familylivesson.org, Family Lives On Foundation. friendsforsurvival.org, Friends for Survival. griefhealing.com/index.htm, Grief Healing. griefnet.org, griefnet.org. griefshare.org, griefshare. grievingchildren.org, the Center for Grieving Children. healgrief.org, healgrief.org. helpguide.org/articles/grief-with-grief-and-loss.htm, helpguide.org, Coping with Grief and Loss. hospicefoundation.org, Hospice Foundation of America. livingwithheart.com, Living with Heart. losingaspouse.com, Losing a Spouse. losingourparents.org/losing, Losing Your Parents. mentalhealthamerica.net, MHA. nasb-online.org/resources-and-publications/school-safety-and-crisis/addressing-grief, National Association of School Psychologists, Addressing Grief. opentohope.com, Open to Hope. samhsa.gov, SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. TAPS.org, TAPS. The Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. webhealing.com, Web Healing Grief resources, including articles, forums, and videos. what'sourgrief.com. womenshealth.gov/aging/mental-health/loss-grieving.html, womenshealth.gov. Grief websites 3. aarp.org/grief-and-loss. aarp.org/grief-and-loss/home.html. 8c.org. august.org. aidsquilt.org. angelfire.com/up3/grieving parents. angelsforhope.org. aplasitoRemember.com. bereavedparentsusa.org. bereavementmag.com. bfotoronto.ca. centerforloss.com. childrensgrief.net. clarahinton.com. climb-support.org. compassionatefriends.org. condolencephrases.net. conniebowen.com. counselingstlewis.net. cysticfibrosis.com. deafcounseling.com. debbiedickinson.com. dougie.org. drgreen.com/21_201.html. enterthefreudianslip.com. facebook.com/pages/puyallup-wa/grief-inc. f-conlany.com. webhealing.com. friendsofkaren.org. friendsway.org. funeralnet.com. galenpress.com, grief.org.au, griefandrenewal.com, griefdirectory.org, griefhealing.com, grieflossrecovery.com, griefsong.com, griefstore.com, groww.org, helpguide.org, helpguide.org/mental/grief_loss.htm, helptoheal.co.uk, holycrosshealth.org/hospice, hospicecaring.org, hospicechesapeake.org, hospicefoundation.org, groups.yahoo.com/group/angels-surroundus, groups.yahoo.com/group/our-broken-hearts-off-suicide, health.groups.yahoo.com/group/drowning-support-network, members.boardhost.com/donor-family, open-to-hope.com, qeepr.com, thegrievingheart.info, thewebpager.com/sos, webhealing.com/forums, webhealing.com/videos, bradleyfuneralhomes.com, bradleyfuneralhomes.com/resources.html #grief, icfa.org, joanpang.org, journeyofhearts.org, jssahospice.org, kindermourn.org, lastchapters.org, lifewords.com, livingwithheart.com, loveanyverties.net, maledepression.com, mastersincounseling.org/loss-grief-bereavement.html, mensactivism.org, missfoundation.org, missinggrace.org, montgomeryhospice.org, ncfm.org, netcomook.co.uk/jollyjohn, nfdia.org, nhpco.org, parentsofsuicide.com, pomc.com, pomc.org, professionalchaplains.org, restministries.org, roadtohealing.com, robertspress.ca, sampleelettarofsympathy.com, samplesempathy-messages.com, seattlewidowed.com, sids.org, sids-network.org, silentgrief.com, sugarloafcounseling.com, suicidememorialwall.com, survivingsuicide.com, sympathymessageideas.com, taps.org, thebody.com/index.html, themencenter.com, touchstonesongrief.com, transformations.com, trinity.edu/mkearl/death.html $, twinlesstwins.org, west.net/1, widownet.org, willowgreen.com, wingsgrief.org, wingsoflight.org, wsfda.org, zenhospice.org, grief websites for growthhouse.org/death.html, bereavement links, Growth House, Inc., grannyg.bc.ca/ckidbook/grief.html, children coping with grief and dying, a list of books about death, loss, illness, rivendell.org, griefnet, Riverdale Resources. This site has resources for those who are experiencing loss and grief and information for health professionals. lastacts.org, LastActs, USA, a coalition of nonprofit organizations and professional associations campaigning to improve end-of-life care. CompassionateFriends.org, the Compassionate Friends, National Office, USA, a nonprofit self-help organization for bereaved parents and siblings. Dougie.org, the Dougie Center, the National Center for Grieving Children and Families, USA. griefnet.org, griefnet. 313-761-1960. webhealing.com, Tom Golden's Crisis, Grief, and Healing page. 301 670-1027. webhealing.com/links.html. goodgriefgroups.com, goodgriefgroups.com. 770-977-6377. Fax, 770-926-3743. Centering.org, The Centering Corporation. 402-553-1200. Fax, 402-553-0507. hospicefoundation.org/grief, Hospice Foundation of America Grief. Resource page. 800-854-3402. zzrockies.net/spirit/grief/griefa1.html, grief and loss resource. Center. sef@rockies.net. goodgrief.org, The Shiva Foundation. 505-757-8906. Fax, 505-757-8905. griefinc.com. 866-312-8970. Fax, 502-493-7291. mentalhelp.net. groww.com, grief recovery online for all bereaved. 407-865-9249. Fax, 407-865-6179. compassionatefriends.org, compassionatefriends.org for loss of a child. 281-491-1396. Fax, 281-491-1396. bereavementmag.com, bereavement magazine. 888-604-4673. Grief websites 5. abridgedpo.org, AIDS Bereavement and Resiliency Program of Ontario. ambiguousloss.com, ambiguous loss. bereavedparentsusa.org, bereaved parents of the USA. complicatedgrief.columbia.edu/for-public/complicated-grief-public/overview, Center for Complicated Grief. centerforloss.com, Center for Loss and Life Transition. compassionatefriends.org, compassionate friends, supporting family after a child dies. childrengrieve.org, National Alliance for Grieving Children. copefoundation.org, Cope Foundation. dougie.org, Dougie Center. grief.com, grief.com. griefhealing.com, grief healing. griefnet.org, griefnet. griefshair.org, griefshare. griefspeaksout.net, grief speaks out. missfoundation.org, Miss Foundation. mymiscarriagematters.org, Miscarriage Matters Incorporated. nationalshair.org, share pregnancy and infant loss support. palenetwork.sunnybrook.ca, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Network. POMC.com, National Organization of Parents of Murdered Children. pregnancyloss.org, Pregnancy Loss Support Program. recover-from-grief.com, Recover from Grief. refugingreef.com, Refuge in Grief. sans.org.au, SANS, Miscarriage, Stillbirth and Newborn Death Support, Australia. sans.org.uk, SANS, Stillbirth and Neonatal Death Charity, UK. sesamestreetincommunities.org/topics/grief, Sesame Street in Communities, helping kids grieve. starlegacyfoundation.org, Star Legacy Foundation. taps.org, Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. thegrieftoolbox.com, The Grief Toolbox. uksobs.org, Survivors of Bereavement by Suicide. vdbs.org, Violent Death Bereavement Society. what'syourgrief.com, What's Your Grief? widowedparent.org, Widowed Parent. Grief websites 6. mindremakeproject.org/2020/08/13/books-resources-for-grief-loss, resources for grief and loss. kd.ca/site/default/files/when %20 grief %20 comes %20 to %20 work_e.pdf, when grief comes to work, managing grief and loss in the workplace, a handbook for managers and supervisors. counseling-connection.com/wp-content/upload/2013/08/coping-with-the-death-of-a-loved-one, Coping with the Death of a Loved One, a Life Effectiveness Guide. foh.psc.gov/New York CU/coping-tips.pdf, a life care guide to helping others cope with grief. fullcircle.org/wp-content/upload/2017/05/BRM_2016-single-pages.pdf, Richmond's Bereavement Resource Manual 2016. lifesharing.org/wp-content/upload/2016/02/grief-and-bereavement.pdf, a life care guide to grief and bereavement. melissainstitute.org/wp-content/upload/2016/04/treatment_of_individuals_with_prolonged_and-grief.pdf, treatment of individuals with prolonged and complicated grief and traumatic bereavement. mindremake project.org/2021/08/13/coping-with-loss workbook, Coping with Loss Workbook. moodjuice.scot.nhs.uk/pdf guide/bereavement.pdf, Bereavement and Grief Self-Help Guide. my.cleveland-clinic.org/ccs/media/files/bereavement/understanding-death-grief-mourning-law=n, Understanding Death, Grief and Mourning, a Resource Manual. NewYork-Life-Store.com/New-York-L2/product/1436203-after_underscore_loved_guide-how_grieve-booklet_all $3$$3$3 after a loved one dies, how children grieve and how parents and other adults can support them. omh.ny.gov/omhweb/grief/grief counseling resource guide.pdf, Grief Counseling Resource Guide, a field manual. roswellpark.org/site/default/files/30161_journey_through_grief_reader_0.pdf, Journey Through Grief, Grief Resource Booklet for Families. smilelifework.org/site/all/files/griev.pdf, Grieving Resource, a guide to books and other references. sdkingston.simplertimes.com/st-book-adu-web.pdf, On the Wings of Grief, a bereavement journal for adults. talktogether.nhs.uk/wp-content/upload/2017/01/guide-bereavement.pdf, Let's Talk Bereavement, a self-help guide. web.ntw.nhs.uk/self-help/leaflets/bereavement.pdf, Bereavement, an NHS self-help guide. Chapter 4. A Grief Website Guide to Grief Resources. Books about grief are at hashtag 155.937, BF575, or RC607, hashtag 301.428, Widowhood, and there might be some Christian books at hashtag 248.86 at the library. Legal books about death are at number 343. Books about death are at hashtag 128.5, number 174, hashtag 301.428, hashtag 306.87-90, number 393, hashtag 616.89 or BD444 and R726. Books about death and terminal illness are at hashtag 362.175 and R726.8. American Association of Retired Persons. AARP Fulfillment. 601 E St. N.W. Washington, D.C. 20049. 202-872-4700. 202-728-4370. AARP.org. Free pamphlet, Widowed Persons. American Grief Academy. Accord. 1930, Bishop Lane. Number 947. Louisville, Kentucky, 40218. 800-346-3087. Association for Death Education and Counseling. 638, Prospect Avenue. Hartford, Connecticut, 06105-4250. 860-586-7503. Fax, 860-586-7550. 8coffice@aol.com. Compassionate Friends. 900 Jory Boulevard. Oak Brook, Illinois, 60521. 630-990-0010. CompassionateFriends.org. Helping organizations for parents who have experienced the death of a child. Dougy Center. National Center for Grieving Children and Families. POB 86852. Portland, Oregon, 97286. 503-775-5683. Help@dougy.org. grievingchild.org. Grief Recovery Institute. 8306 Wilshire Boulevard. Number 21. BH, California, 90211. 800-445-4808. 323-650-1234. Gri@griefrecovery.com. griefrecovery.com. Cancer Grief Websites. CompassionateFriends.org, The Compassionate Friends, National Office, USA, Bereaved Parents. Dougy.org, The Dougy Center, the National Center for Grieving Children and Families, USA. Portland, Oregon. The Centering Corporation. Omaha, Nebraska, 68134. Centering.org. Books, Death and Grieving. Children's Hospice International. 901 North Pitt Street, Suite 230. Alexandria, Virginia, 22314. 800-242-4453, 800-24 Child or 703-684-0330. Fax, 703-684-0226. chionline.org. The Compassionate Friends National Office. P.O. Box 3696. Oak Brook, Illinois, 60522-3696. 877-969-0010. 630-990-0010. CompassionateFriends.org. Bereaved Family Support Meetings at local chapters and telephone support. psycom.net/depression.central.grief.html, grief and bereavement. bereavedfamilies.net, Bereaved Families of Ontario. Bereavement Self-Help Resources Guide. growthhouse.org/default.html, Growth House. Resources for life-threatening illness and end-of-life care. misschildren.org, MISS. The untimely death of an infant, toddler, or young child. campheaven.com, Camp Heaven. Bridging the gap between earth and heaven. The gap between grieving parent and departing child. Memorial websites. beautifultribute.com. en.memoryislife.com. gonatoosoon.org, set up a memorial website for someone who passed. healgrief.org. memorialhaven.com, online memorial. memoriespace.mind.org.uk. Gratitude website /thankful websites. Some people keep personal gratitude journals. They write in what they're thankful for. About-personal-growth.com/appreciation-and-gratitude.html, appreciation and gratitude, the thankful and grateful feeling. artofmanliness.com. associatedcontent.com/art_78977/the_being_thankful_inspirational.html, the art of being thankful, inspirational quotes on gratitude. balancedlifecenter.com/category/gratitude. balanceinstyle.com/gratitude. bethankful.com/quotes.htm, be thankful, living with gratitude. bethankful.com. blogcatalog.com/blog/a-mama-a-rama-mama/post/tag/gratitude. coaching-ercreativity.com/articles/26ways/list-thankful-for.html. deliverfreedom.com/blog/tag/gratitude. dig.com/health/thankful-for_com_online_gratitude_journal. earthhealing.info. effectivepersonaldevelopmentblog.com/tag/gratitude-journal. effectivepersonaldevelopmentblog.com/tag/thankful. ehow.com/how_45487/give-gratitude-thankful.html, how to give gratitude and to be thankful. empowering-personal-development.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/gratitude. explorefaith.org/living-spiritually/_thankful_life/bridges_to_gratitude.php. gratitudebands.com/index.html, gratitude mfg. gratitudecampaign.org. gratitudecollections.net/blog/thankful-thursdays-4. gratitudelog.com. gratitudemfg.com. guideposts.com, the power of gratitude, faith-based stories about gratitude to uplift your body, mind, and spirit. happytapper.com. heartlight.org. heartquotes.net/appreciation.html. hopecrc.ca/appreciation.htm, Christian poems of appreciation. hubpages.com/hub/gratitude-the-power-of-being-thankful. iamthankful.com. intimacyretreats.com/gratitude.htm, gratitude. lds.org/topic/gratitude. leadershipnow.com. leftnow.com. ltvmom.com/blog/my-personal-gratitude. melodiespoetry.com/hill.htm, Melodies Poetry, personalized pastor appreciation poems. my-pastor.com/pastor-appreciation-poems.html, pastor appreciation poems. mewwnpersonalgod.com/index.htm. newshare.com/links/thankful for-what-you-thankful-for-today. onlinegratitudejournal.com. opgratitude.com/howtohelp.php. orangelinks.com/cool-site/thankful-for-what-you-are-thankful-for-today. personal-development.com. personalizedpoems.org/gratitude-attitude. personaltreasures.blogspot.com. poemfortoday.com/teacher-poem.html, teacher poems, thank you, appreciation and inspirational poems. poemfortoday.com/appreciation-poems.html. poemsforfree.com/thenpo.html, thank you poems for free. psychology.ucdavis.edu/lab/emmons. psychology-today.com/blog/death-love-sex-magic/200911/the-benefits-being-thankful. quotegarden.com/teacher-apprec.html, teacher appreciation quotes and sayings, thank your teachers. quotelady.com/subjects/thankfulness.html, quote ladies quotes by subject, thankfulness. selfgrowth.com/gratitude.html. successconsciousness.com/guest_article/power_of_gratitude.htm. The power of gratitude. technoraphy.com/tag/gratitude. thankfulfor.com, an online space for the grateful ones. thankfulfor.com. thehappyguy.com/gratitude-journal-happiness.html. thepoemstore.com. urbanmonk.net. vickywolfson.wordpress.com. webdev2.0.com/site/thankfulfor. whereincity.com/contribution/poem/appreciation-poems. wisdomquotes.com/cat_gratitude.html. wowforyou.com/appreciation/index.html, appreciation quotes, inspirational words of wisdom. Grief and bereavement support group websites. accesshelp.org, Aircraft Casualty Emotional Support Services, offers peer grief support network for those who have survived or lost loved ones in an air disaster. bereavementuk.co.uk, Bereavement UK, a support forum with special sections for like-minded people who are grieving, to share thoughts and give word of comfort, plus practical advice about bereavement. drowningsupportnetwork.wordpress.com, Drowning Support Network, blog featuring articles. griefhealingdiscussiongroups.com, Grief Healing Discussion Groups, message board with sections covering child loss, anticipated death, and the death of a spouse or sibling. Also offers advice on healing and living without a loved one. griefloss.org, Center for Grief, Loss, and Transition, a non-profit organization offering help and hope for those who have experienced a significant loss in their lives, located in St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. griefshare.org, Grief Share, Grief Recovery Support Groups, features resources to assist and encourage people grieving the death of a friend or family member, and includes database of more than 1,200 listings of support groups. griefworks.com, GriefWorks, local resources, information, and education about grief and loss in life, as well as numerous links. Located in Montgomery County, Maryland, and serving the Washington, D.C. metro area. groups.yahoo.com/group/drowning support network, Yahoo Groups, Drowning Support Network, peer support group for people who have lost loved ones in incidents involving drowning or other aquatic accidents, especially when no physical remains have been recovered, or the recovery process has been lengthy and difficult. halos.org, Helping All Loved Ones Survive, Inc. Halos is a non-profit organization that provides information, emotional support, and referrals to surviving friends and family members of homicide victims. HoustonGriefSupport.org, Houston Grief Support, meeting every Sunday afternoon at a church in Pasadena, Texas. For bereaved adults. Includes links to other local groups. Kidney.org/transplantation/donor families, National Donor Family Council, national organization for families whose loved ones have donated organs or tissues upon death. Includes grief resources, message board, pen pals, newsletter. Free membership. Mailboxtoheaven.com, Mailbox to Heaven, send a letter to a departed loved one. Multilingual. members.tripod.com/carolanm/mixedemotions1.html, Mixed Emotions Grief Support, a mailing list support group for adult children dealing with the death, or impending death, of a parent from whom they are emotionally estranged, due to emotional or verbal abuse, alcoholism, or other addictions or dysfunctions. mgep.org, Morning Glory Ministries, located in El Paso, Texas, USA. Christian group offering solace to the bereaved. Includes articles about the stages of grief and taking care of yourself through the grieving process. Lists their activities. militarywidows.org/home.aspx, Society of Military Widows, for people whose partners died during active duty. Requires paid for subscription. Memorials, convention news, and an administrative checklist. momshalo.org, Mom's Halo, support for the mother loss. Includes a forum board, grief support articles, suggested reading, online newsletter, memorials, and poetry. nbnorwell.org, New Beginnings, singles group providing programs for adults who are distressed over being separated, widowed, divorced or never married. Meetings held in Abington, Massachusetts, USA. Describes the different types of meetings offered and their history. newhopecenter.net, New Hope Center for Grief Support, a Christian-based bereavement outreach center providing group and individual support and or direction to other resources that will help grieving individuals. Based in SE, Michigan, with ongoing groups for widows and widowers. TAPS.org, Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAPS, a national nonprofit organization made up of, and providing services to, all those who have lost a loved one on active duty with the armed forces. Offers a survivor peer support network. Grief counseling referral and caseworker assistance and crisis information. teddybearhollow.org, Teddy Bear Hollow, located in Omaha, Nebraska, provides free bereavement and illness support programs for people of all ages. Gives information about their programs, events, training opportunities, and a blog. TheGeriefCaReplace.org, the Grief Care Place, located in Stowe, Ohio. Offers individual counseling and care groups. Lists their programs and services and events calendar. TipSanDiego.org, Trauma Intervention Programs of San Diego County, organization of trained volunteers who provide immediate emotional and practical support to victims and their families. Grief, loss, and bereavement mental health websites at dmoz-odp.org/health/mental_health/grief%2c_loss_and_bereavement. Subcategories. Articles and research. Books. Counseling services. Death care. Personal pages. Child loss. Children's grief. Pet loss. Pregnancy loss. Widows. asahi-net.or.jp/kx5n-kgim/e_index.htm, 100 phrases for those who have lost a loved one. These phrases were composed with the purpose to empower and comfort those who have encountered the death of someone they love. Bereavement-poems-articles.com, Bereavement Poems and Articles. Poems and articles connected with grief, loss, and bereavement. Includes links and an online memorial tribute. BereavementMag.com, Bereavement Publications Incorporated, Living with Loss. Offers searchable magazine archives, free online support groups, electronic sympathy cards, electronic memorials, and a secure catalog. CatchAFallingLife.com, Catch a Falling Life. Offers articles, books, and professional services for those coping with grief and loss. Consolatio.com, Consolatio. Quotes by famous fictional and non-fictional people about death and loss. Links. CounselingstLewis.net, The Sibling Connection. Offers support and resources for adults who lost a sibling during childhood or adolescence, including books, articles, general information, and bibliographies. creativegrief.blogspot.co.uk, Creative Grief. An archived blog with tips for managing. Crisis.org.il, Crisis, or Challenge, a guide to bereavement stress and modern-day terror. An online guide for teachers, parents, and those who have been victims of terror attacks, traumatic crisis and long-term stress. A special section on the tradition Jewish attitude to mourning is included. Cruise.org.uk, Cruise Bereavement Care. National charity set up to offer free, confidential help to bereaved people. Cruise produces booklets on coping with grief which you can buy online. Estrangements.com, Estrangements. Provides information about loss due to estrangement. Includes a journal, lists of books, movies, articles, other references, poetry, and people who have experienced estrangement. Facebook.com/grief-loss-recovery, grief, loss, and recovery. Articles, memorials, poetry, and provides a safe haven for bereaved persons to share their grief through discussion forums. FriendsAlongTheRoad.org, Friends Along the Road Incorporated. Relief for those in deep grief, so that they may have time away from pressing obligations in order to rest, seek consolation or healing and possibly re-evaluate their lives. Bulletin board and fundraising activities. GHpublications.com, Healing Through Grieving. Offers a 16-month program including workbooks and journal. Grief.com, Grief.com. Author and grief expert David Kessler's site. Includes questions and answers, articles, tips for coping and information about books he's written alone and with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Grief.org.au, the Centre for Grief Education. Based in Melbourne, Australia, and has as its mission to provide, through research, education and consultancy, support for bereaved people. Features newsletters, services, directory, and programs. GriefAndRenewal.com, Grief and Renewal. International site to support people in their journeys of recovery and rebuilding following a loss. Resources, links, bulletin board, and people's stories of renewal. GriefHealing.com, Grief Healing. Bereavement support including articles, poetry, links, and a section on pet loss. GriefInc.com, Grief Inc. Official home of Darky, Tony, and Alicia Sims, who are internationally recognized public speakers on the topics of grief and grief support. GriefLink.asn.au, GriefLink. Information resource on death-related grief for the community and professionals. Includes coping with grief, helping the bereaved, resources, education and specific topics. GriefNet.org, GriefNet. Support services include resource referral, support groups, a library, and memorial web pages. Links to suicide prevention and survivors resources. Rivendell Resources, a charitable corporation. GriefRecoveryMethod.com, the Grief Recovery Institute. Offering information, handbooks, resources, and news to help individuals deal with grief. GriefSong.com, GriefSong, Healing the Loss. A place where to find creative and nurturing ways to honor grief following the death of a loved one. Includes songs of hope and inspiration, songs for memorials and funeral services, songs for rituals and spiritual renewal as well as meditation resources. HealingHugs.net, Healing Hugs. Created by a mother in memory of her young daughter, promotes rights for the mourner and compassion from the mourner's friends and family. Provides links, a guide to the mourner's rights to grieve and inspirational quotes. HopeForBereaved.com, Hope for Bereaved. Independent, not-for-profit community organization dedicated to providing hope, support and services for the bereaved. Counseling, support services, and books for the grieving. EDDNotKnowWhatToSay.com, I did not know what to say. Gives tips and ideas for the friends and family of the mourner to help them help the bereaved. Includes a blog. Inspirationalstories.com/death-dying-1.html, After Hours Inspirational Stories, Death and Dying. Inspirational story and poem collection about death, dying and grievance. JourneyOfHearts.org, Journey of Hearts. A healing place in cyberspace created by a physician who combines medicine, psychiatry, poetry, prose, and images to provide resources and support. KobeMandel.org, the Kobe Mandel Foundation. A foundation to help others cope with the loss of a loved one, this site offers therapeutic programs and events for bereaved families and young people, stories, and a newsletter. LossAndRenewal.com, Center for Loss and Renewal. Dedicated to understanding the process of grief and its impact on laypeople and professionals. It includes a monthly column, On the Path from Loss to Renewal. medlineplus.gov/bereavement.html, Medline Plus, Bereavement. Directory of press releases, articles and fact sheets. OpenHeartSeminars.com, Open Heart Seminars. Johnny. Welshon's workshops, books, and tapes to help heal the grief of the loss of a loved one. OpenToHope.com, Open to Hope Foundation. An online resource center for those looking for hope after loss. Resources include blogs, podcasts, YouTube spots, and current articles by experts in the field of grief, loss, hope, and healing. rfgifts.com, Rainbow Faith. Hope, inspiration, and encouragement in the form of essays, photos, and poems for anyone going through grief recovery. TheLightBeyond.com, The Light Beyond. Provides articles about coping with loss and a forum. ToddHochberg.com, Touching Souls, Healing with Bereavement Photography. Todd Hochberg, photographer, national lecturer, and published author's work acknowledges and supports bereaved parents experiencing their baby's death while educating medical/grief professionals and the public about perinatal loss. TuesdaysChildren.org, Tuesdays Children. A family service organization that supports individuals who lost loved ones to terrorist incidents worldwide. Articles about the aid offered and upcoming events. Webhealing.com, Crisis, Grief, and Healing. A place for people to find help in healing from loss. The Honor Page, the first internet memorial site, has over 500 memorials and continues to put up memorials free of charge. what'syourgrief.com, What's Your Grief? Provides articles about coping with the grieving process. Also provides pay-for courses. widowedandyoung.org.uk, Way Widowed and Young. UK charity for men and women aged 50 or under when their partner died. A self-help group run by volunteers who have been bereaved at a young age themselves. Widowersupport.org, Phoenix Rising. Information and support for widows, widowers, and those who grieve over the death of a loved one. Features forum, advice, and personal stories. Grief therapist/bereavement counselor job websites. agework.com/agework. healthycareers.com/AMCA. American Counseling Association. 6101 Stevenson Avenue No. 600. Alexandria, Virginia 22304, 3580. 800-347-6647. Counseling.org. American Mental Health Counselors Association. 675 North Washington Street No. 470. Alexandria, Virginia 22314-1940. 800-326-2642. AMCA.org. Association for Death Education and Counseling. 1 Parkview Plaza, No. 800. Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois 60181-4730. 847-686-2240. 8C.org. Graduate Programs in Thanatology, the study of grief therapy. The College of New Rochelle. Graduate School. New Rochelle, New York 10805. 914-654-5000. eno@cnr.edu. cnr.edu/web/graduate-school/mental-health-counseling. The Dougie Center. National Center for Grieving Children and Families, POB 86852. Portland, Oregon 97286-0852. 866-775-5683. help@dougie.org. dougie.org. Gerontological Society of America. 1220 L Street, NW, number 901. Washington, D.C. 20005-4001. 202-842-1275. geron.org. Grief counselors work at AIDS treatment centers, air or train crash sites, armed forces, assisted living homes, businesses, cancer care centers, churches, colleges, corporations, daycare centers, funeral homes, hospice agencies, hospitals, Industrial accident sites. Natural disaster sites. Nursing homes. Private practice. Scenes of violence. Schools. Trauma centers.